Yes, I have returned, dumbass.
Alright, this is it. Here we go. Dragon Ball Super time. We've done the math. We've done extra math. We've done even more math. But now we're ready to tackle a show that makes no sense with power scaling. When I started the calculations for this video, I thought, you know what? This Super's not that bad. Super's not that bad. Alright, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
2 hours.
Don't you ever mention fusion to me again. Wonder what that was all about. Let's do Super, shall we? Okay, so Super kind of has its own set of rules when it comes to power scaling. One thing, and basically the only thing, that Super does better than Z is training for Goku and Vegeta. Training in Z was, insane. How does Goku go from 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai to Saiyan Saga to Saiyan Saga to Namek to beginning of Android to Cell to Boo? What is happening there? But now that Super actually has a status quo, we can consistently get training numbers, but that does mean we're gonna have to keep track of the date. The one and only thing that I will use from the Daima video is how much more powerful Goku and Vegeta got between Z and Daima. Hello audience, meet our new best friend, Exponential Graph. Please be nice to him. Basically, every number that we get from Super is derived from an exponential graph. This shows how strong a character gets within a certain amount of months. And as we can see from this graph here, Vegeta does actually a much better job at training than Goku. You always hear in the Dragon Ball fandom, Goku trains smarter, but not harder than Vegeta. And that is true, that's very true. But also, every time Goku trains smarter and not harder than Vegeta, let's see. He obtained the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb and was on a planet of 10 times gravity. Used gravity training at 100 times to get a lot stronger. Goku and Vegeta train in the 3-year time skip between Mecha Frieza and the Cell Saga. And Vegeta's actually stronger than Goku in that instance. And then in the hyperbolic time chamber, Goku masters Super Saiyan, which puts him a lot stronger than Vegeta at that instance. But yes, with no new technique or augmentation or multiplier or yada yada yada, Vegeta is working harder than Goku. I mean, come on, one's a farmer, one's rich, has all the time in the world, has a hot wife. I don't know what the last one does, but we'll include her. Alright, so we have the base power level for Vegeta at 6.59 billion. But what about Goku? He's a farmer, he's spending a lot of time, like, with his family. He went to King Kai's planet, so that's gotta make up for it, right? Okay, so every time that I had to do something crazy hard for no reason, for the sake of this video, Goku will punch me in the face. Okay, so I had to study the lifestyle of a Japanese farmer. And Goku starts farming round about 2 years after Z, due to Son Goku and his friends' return. We get Goku at a power level of 3.2 billion. That's weaker than Vegeta. Okay, so at the end of the day, Goku in his Super Saiyan 3 form is still 2 times stronger than Vegeta. And don't worry, Goku and Vegeta's power level will even out pretty quickly. Alright, so the problem with Super Saiyan Rage Vegeta is that the only person that he attacks is Beerus, who we can't find the power level for. Maybe in Super Part 2, we'll be able to do that, but right now, it's a complete mystery. So we're gonna have to go off estimates on other people and my own personal bias. It could be anywhere from 10 times to 100 times, which is crazy for a rage multiplier. So my estimate is 15 times, 15.75 trillion. Okay, so Ultimate Gohan. It is widely believed that Ultimate Gohan was weaker than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or equal to him. They constantly state that Goku is the #1 fighter in the Beer Saga, so Ultimate Gohan is at 3.04 trillion, which is 148 times weaker than he was before. And this is when this poor chap realized Super makes absolutely no sense. But with the power of 1.2 thousand subscribers, and maybe a little bit of that indominant human spirit, he decided to push forward. Okay, you know what? Fine. It's fan speculation anyway on how much stronger Ultimate Gohan is than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So maybe I just overblew the numbers. Sure? Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so how am I gonna get the Super Saiyan God multiplier? It has to be impossible, right? Shaking the universe is physically impossible. Or is it? No, shaking the universe is pretty impossible, but there is one thing that it gets surprisingly close to that. It's called gravitational waves. Gravitational waves are waves that travel through space and they displace things, so move them. This is the best logical explanation for what is happening other than a universe break. Okay, so we have our thing. We have the thing from physics to pull into power levels. Okay, so we'll use the strongest gravitational wave ever recorded as a baseline. The wave moved things less than 1,000th of a proton. That is small. You know how many joules of energy it took to make that wave? It was 5.3 times 10 to the power of 47. You know how long that amount of energy would power New York City? 200 billion times how long the universe has already lasted. This power level would be enough to destroy the entire observable universe. Is this what you wanted? I got hundreds of comments saying that I lowballed everything in the last video, that I was crazy for saying that people aren't universe level, but now it is. Okay, so we're gonna need a new scale entirely to figure out the god levels. Not literally like a new scale, but like using kilometers instead of centimeters, you know? So Super Saiyan God Goku at the end of the fight is one god unit. Super Vegito is this many god units. I don't know why I even did this hand motion. It's the number's probably wrapped all around me. Okay, so after that was dealt with, let's go on to how the Super Saiyan God absorption works, because it's weird. Personally, I don't really think the power is permanent. I think that what was permanent was the ability to turn into Super Saiyan God. And I think this is actually implied in the movie, because the way I'm doing the canonicity for all of Super is movie, anime, manga. It's a lot more clear-cut than Z, which everybody had a different opinion about. But yeah, for Goku, this was his ability to obtain God Ki. The Super Saiyan thing, I think after that battle with Beerus, it kind of just faded away. Because even if the Super Saiyan God multiplier is like, what, 2,000 times? It'd still be like way too high for Vegeta or like anybody else training to get that much more powerful. But anyway, the pinnacle of power for Battle of Gods is Super Saiyan Goku at a god level of a little over 1. Date, August 778, 1 year after Battle of God. I try to find the power levels of all the humans in Resurrection F because it seems like the perfect time to do it. You know, everybody's fighting low tier enemies, it's all good, it's all swell. Except it's not. It is near impossible. They face opponents that are way weaker than themselves. Even using like Namek level saga numbers, it should just be a wash for all of them. There's no reason why these grunts at like a power level of 1,000 should be touching Krillin, who's at 75,000 at the bare minimum. Also, this lighting is terrible. Oh my gosh. Gohan, my boy. Using the power loss he had in Battle of Gods, he is at an abysmal 10.25 million in base form. And Gohan lost Super Saiyan Grade 4, which puts him at 512 million in Super Saiyan form. On the top of Grade 4, actually, I still think it applies to Goku and Vegeta, and potentially the Universe 6 Saiyans, for 3 reasons. First of all, it takes Grade 4 to get to Super Saiyan 2. Second of all, it looks really cool when they get mad into Super Saiyan. As we can see in the Broly movie, sometimes it takes effort going to Super Saiyan, sometimes it just doesn't. It's more for visual flair anyway. Third of all, Goku and Vegeta don't strike me as the people to stop mastering certain things. They don't really get rusty like Gohan does. It's really hard to master a certain thing and then just forget how to do it. Or you know what I'm saying, right? Like, so yeah, Grade 4 still applies to Goku and Vegeta, and excepting Gohan. My boy, what are you actually doing? I decided to use another exponential graph for Ultimate Gohan because it's what seemingly seems to be how potential works in Dragon Ball. And of course, Ultimate Gohan is at 2.1 billion. I don't think this applies to all Saiyans because, as Goku and Vegeta say in like the superhero arc in the manga, their powers have been capped out, or their physical powers. Alright, so in the time for Resurrection F, Goku and Vegeta mastered God Ki. Goku's power level did increase like a little bit in those 6 months before he realized Vegeta was not there. So, here is the next big drop of numbers, pal. I know that's what you're here for. 8.22 billion. 10 billion. Fourth form Frieza, 7.4 billion. Super Saiyan Blue Goku, 128 units. Golden Frieza initially, 147.2 units. Blue Vegeta, 155 units. Golden Frieza's final power level is 108.8 units. Don't you love it when things are just that simple and you just have to put a multiplier on it? Originally I thought, you know what? God Ki shouldn't be a multiplier, right? Except the story doesn't support this at all. Otherwise, Goku and Vegeta would just never train, never. If 50 God units was their max at Super Saiyan Blue, then there's no real need to train for hard opponents like they do in the Universe 6 tournament, the Goku Black arc, the Tournament of Power, etc. There are so many mental gymnastics that are going on behind the scenes while I'm writing this video. Super is stupid. Super stupid. Super is stupid. Still better than GT. From what I understand, GT is a very kiddie version of Dragon Ball. It tries to emulate original Dragon Ball and it's unsuccessful. And Super tries to emulate Dragon Ball Z while being for a younger audience. So, mischaracterization. Both shows are at like a solid 6 with constant 10 out of 10s. Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan 4 are the most interesting forms since the original Super Saiyan. But anyway, we're feeling good. Flat multipliers all around. Life seems easy. Let's get into Universe 6, baby. Alright, so this is what professional YouTubing looks like. It looks like the Game of Life, Monopoly, Balderdash, the game's categories, chess, and a ladder stacked on top of each other. And an extremely squeaky chair. Listen to this. Alright, so the date is May age 780. Using Shenron's previous wish to cure Pan's fever, it's 8 months after Resurrection F. So now we need to find the effectiveness of Whis' training. I've been using this model, used from the Buu Saga base Goku power level and the Daima base Goku power level. Now we just need a new number here.
Whis' training is mostly God Ki based, but we do see that Goku and Vegeta are physically training. They're being pushed to their limits time and time again due to the suits that they wear and the fact that they constantly battle each other. This as a low ball should be 1.5 times as effective as their Earth training, and as a high ball 5 times. So let's even that out, and then we get
this number. So this is what training looks like for the foreseeable future. So both base Goku and base Vegeta in the Universe 6 tournament should be 21.2 billion. And they finally even out because they're training together. But then Goku and Vegeta train for 3 years in the hyperbolic time chamber, which gives them at a 64.9 billion. They can finally beat Super Perfect Cell now in base form, and round about like 3 times that as well. Alright, so we have the first matchup in the tournament, Goku versus Butama. And the answer to that is I don't know. I have no clue. I can't figure out Butama's power level because Goku's punches don't hurt him and Butama's attacks don't hurt Goku. Even though Goku avoids those attacks, he treats the entire fight as a warm-up. Third form Frost is pretty easy, 71.39 billion. If we use Frieza's jump from third to fourth form, Frost should be 2.14 trillion. Super Saiyan Goku, 5.19 trillion. So base Kappa, 58.41 billion. This goes to show how freaking broken the Universe 6 Saiyans are. They are like way above Super Perfect Cell tier. It's pretty insane. They're still below Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku in the Buu Saga, but fairly close. In Super Saiyan Kappa, 2.9 trillion. I want to talk about the blue forms and just ki suppression in general in Dragon Ball. As shown consistently in Super and even Z, people can lower their power levels to basically 1. It was shown in Z when Trunks lowered his power level by 1.5 million times. But anyway, I just want to prove that point that yes, these people can lower their power levels to basically anything. And it's potentially present in God forms, especially, or God Ki. Alright, so Blue Vegeta, using the multipliers we have, is 1,014 units. Alright, so hit. Correct, because power levels are both strength and speed, and ki control, but we ignore ki control here because that's all over the place. Hit is at 1,255 units. And then Blue Goku is at 1,014 units. And Hit powers up to 3,380 units. Hit goes to 6,760 units. No. And Kaioken, Blue Goku, 10,140 units. And same for Hit. When I was writing the script, Universe 6 seemed hard, but it really wasn't that bad. Fairly simple, a lot of multipliers. Hit was just weird, and I couldn't figure out Butama. But we do what we do. Hi there, hello. I hope you'll enjoy me finding the worst lighting of all time. This is up there. This is up there. But anyway, let's get started. The date, May, age 780, a week after the Universe 6 tournament. Base Goku and Vegeta barely increased to 65.4 billion. Base Trunks, using the training from the hyperbolic time chamber with Vegeta, 315.42 billion. Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, of course, 50.48 billion. Base Goku Black, this one's weird. We know he's above a Super Saiyan 2 Goku in this instance, but we don't see his full power, so he could be a god level for all we know. Over 10.4 trillion. Zamasu would be around 6.3 trillion due to the fight with Goku. We're actually lesser than 6.3 trillion because Goku schooled him pretty easily, even though Zamasu did hold up a little bit of a chance. Blue Vegeta, 1,021 units. Base Goku Black fights Vegeta. What the fuck? So base Goku Black, let's just say 22.46, okay? Because Blue Vegeta just decides that, you know what, I'm strong enough for Rose Black, because that's how math works. Don't worry about it, because Super did not. Rose Black, 1,123 units. Pretty clean number, okay. Blue Goku, 1021. Goku gets real angry. This is probably when he should have unlocked Super Saiyan Blue, in my opinion. But Enraged Blue Goku, 1,291 units. Rose Black, after his first Zenkai, because those are introduced back into the story for some reason, 1,420 units. Super Saiyan Rage Trunks, 1,235 units. How does it... I know, like, Rage incorporates some elements of, like, blue into it, but how? Can I make my lighting better? Oh my gosh, jeez. Alright, then Goku and Vegeta go back to the future? Past? What? Alright, so Goku and Vegeta go back to the past. Goku learns the Mafuba, and Vegeta trains. And then post-training Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is 1,434 units. Alright, Goku Black decides, oh wait, I can Zenkai spam here. 1,626 units. I've been using the Zenkai boost of 1.5 times. It's not crazy. And it lines up with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's Zenkai boost. Not Zenkai, Rage Boost. Alright, so Vegito and Merged Zamasu are here. I'm gonna need the power of all my camera angles to solve this one. Okay, so using the old equation that we have in Z, Merged Zamasu is 2.6 billion units, and Blue Vegito is 350 million units. So we're gonna need a new equation. Okay, so we make a new Potara fusion equation based on what Gogeta said in Super. Our strings are not only added together, but they're significantly magnified. Let's try 750,000 times A plus B, putting Blue Vegito at 1.8 billion and Merged Zamasu at 0.26. Shit. Okay, time to spend, I exaggerate not, 2 days trying to figure out this stupid equation that can just be chalked up to a bullcrap power scaling thing from Super. But no, I will always win. I will not lose to Super. 100,000 times A plus B to the power of 0.99798, making Merged Zamasu 37.9 million units and Blue Vegito 46.9 million units. I'm back outside now. Now we have the final numbers for the Goku Black arc and this video. Spirit Sword Trunks, 190 million units. Bullshit. And of course, the pinnacle of power for the Goku Black arc and this video is Infinite Zamasu at a power level of infinity.
I'll destroy it.